the ultimate summer fragrance from Parfums de Marly. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? My name's Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're going to be talking about this colorful juice called Perseus. This was released in 2024 last year, and I was extremely excited to get my nose on this because I saw the notes of grapefruit and vetiver. It's also got bergamot, blackcurrant. There's a very significant dose of geranium, which smells a little bit of a rose and herbal kick to it. And as it dries down, you get this, well, even from the opening, you get this salty and tart-like ambergris and a very distinctive fir and cedarwood dry down. So through and through, I would classify this as a citrus, fresh, woody fragrance. Simple as that. There's a little bit of a spice kick to it, if you will, coming from some of those aromatics, including that geranium, but through and through, it's going to be one of those citrus vetiver combinations. There is a bitterness and astringency, if you will, of the fragrance in itself, and kind of reminding me of certain vein of fragrances that took me a while to get into, which is Terre de Hermes. I was looking for it on my shelf. I don't have it. And the reason I say that is because whenever you think vetiver, citrus, fresh, it's an iconic scent profile. It's that Terre de Hermes, one of my favorite ones being the Eau Intense Vetiver. However, you got to be careful when you're going into this realm of freshies. And I say this very specifically for two notes. It's going to be the grapefruit and the vetiver. There aren't too many relationships that we have with like a grapefruit juice, right? Whenever we think citrus, we think lemonade, we think orange juice, and grapefruit is like the last of the list. At least for me growing up, I remember that shit was like, oh my God, that pink stuff, bitter. It made me like squint my face, and it was just as bad as eating a lemon on its own. And even sometimes I would relate that scent profile to like armpits. Once upon a time, I tried the Dolce & Gabbana, the Forever, by the way, this is a banger, but I tried the Forever Wanted, and that grapefruit was just too much, bro. I remember smelling it in the air, and it was almost like pit-like.
Mmm. Can you smell it?
And I want to say that it's not always the case with grapefruit scents, even back then. It really just depended on the combination and the quality of the grapefruit. I found that throughout time, if they used a higher quality vetiver and grapefruit, it didn't go that territory or realm. But I did find that also I kind of became accustomed to, not the BO, there's absolutely no way that that's okay, but that combination of the vetiver and being able to distinguish the differences as I started to gain more experience. So this isn't necessarily to say that you just need to try it more, bro. You'll get more into it, but moreover, you will develop a certain scent where you can distinguish the nuances and the differences with more experience, and it depends on your personal experience. So scent memories, and that is very significant because this scent profile, just like Terre de Hermes, reminds me of luxury hotels. Whenever you guys travel, if you haven't traveled, maybe I wish and I pray that God blesses you or gives you the opportunity to travel the world. A lot of these hotels, they'll have what smells like fresh wood. And the wood, generally speaking, will have nuances of like cedar and also vetiver. Notoriously known for vetiver and cedar whenever I go into a hotel with some kind of citrus, maybe even soapy nuances. And it drew this extreme relationship to Terre de Hermes or citrus and vetiver scents, quite literally like this. This one having a bit more effervescence than even Terre de Hermes. So I wouldn't call this one necessarily redundant nor a copy of Terre de Hermes, but I will say that PDM is known for taking scent profiles that exist and quite literally giving it more body, more character, and in that sense, perfecting it. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of portraits, a lot of songs, a lot of everything is inspired by it. But the question remains, is it worth it? And in order to answer this, how does it stack up against some of the most popular vetiver and citrus fragrances like Terre de Hermes? I would personally say that this is more effervescent than anything they offer. It has a lot more of like this citrus and kick to it, if you will, like a sparkling, almost carbonated vibe, and this salty and tart DNA that's coming from the ambergris. You could tell that there's a pretty high quality synthetic, obviously, ambergris in this one, but it smells so natural. Even stacked up against Eau de Vetiver by Terre de Hermes, you will not find any similarities, making this one stand very clearly on its own. Yes, it does citrus and vetiver, but it's significantly different. The geranium in this one also adds a certain level of posh and sophistication, giving it that slightly undertone of rose and a bit of like this spiced herbal kick. I personally love this scent for the summertime. It's uplifting, it's great, but you do have to enjoy the note of vetiver and grapefruit. So whether or not it's going to be right for you really depends on your experience. Don't just go and grab it because I like it. First off, you want to find out whether or not you're into grapefruit. Do you get the BO vibe? And really sometimes people who just have BO naturally, they'll go wear grapefruit and it comes off that way. And some people just absolutely not. And only after then, you can determine whether or not it's it's a good pickup for you. For me, I love it. Lastly, performance. The performance for this one, the projection for the first hour and a half is great. That ambergris really lifts the fragrance up. You're gonna be leaving scent trails and it smells extremely sophisticated. Longevity for this one, I'd give it about 7 to 8 hours. Not really much more than anything like that, but still solid. It smells sophisticated, smells rich, and the scent profile, I really think it comes down to that rosy and herbal style of geranium and that salty and tart ambergris that makes this one really stand out, even in a realm of very distinct vetiver citrus fragrances like the ones I mentioned before. Finally, answering the question whether or not it's worth it. All things considered, including the quality and the performance, I would say yes. You have to make sure whether or not you like the note of vetiver and or grapefruit, and after then, I would personally say this is one of the best summertime citrus and grapefruit scents. Don't buy this on retail though. You can find it on discounters, including Shop AROMATIX, where we sell niche, designer, and cheapies for some of the cheapest freaking prices, including this one. And that's pretty much it for PDM's Perseus. It's still worth it in 2025. It's very uplifting, it's very bright, and one of the best summer vetiver scents. And there isn't too many. And if there are, maybe I'm missing a few of them. Let me know what you guys think are like the most essential vetiver scents for the summertime. My name is Deep. Thank you for tuning back in AROMATIX, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.